Royal commentators have raised concerns about Meghan's smothering behaviour towards Prince Harry during an outing to a polo match. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex attended a polo match together in California, where a body language expert claimed Meghan was displaying over-possessive and maternal behaviour towards her husband. Expert Judi James said, Meghan adopted command, control, steer mode, placing both hands around Harry's face as they kissed. Shortly afterwards, the former butler of Princess Diana, Burrell, echoed these concerns. Speaking to OK, Mr. Burrell said, I thought that Meghan was this breath of fresh air who would modernise the royal family and bring all the vital elements that were missing, but what kind of love is this? I feel that, from her body language at the polo, she came across as smothering. Meghan Markle's insecure body language towards husband Prince Harry is analysed by a body language expert. Jesus Enrique Roses notes how Meghan holds Harry's hand in public and unfolds why internet calls it the Meghan claw. When you see enough photos of just Harry and Meghan Markle, you start to see a pattern in the way she holds not only his hand, but also his arm, he begins before adding, the internet vernacular refers to it as the Markle claw. Some say it's her gesture of affection, others say it's needy and plain toxic. The expert then goes on to add how there is a thin line between dominance and insecurity. What is so fascinating about the Markle claw is that it is pretty much the same configuration all the time. Meghan has Harry's hand tightly clasped and at the same time, she holds his arm with her other hand. One of the most important characteristics of a healthy relationship is touch. However, the Sussexes in their professional engagements fail to draw a line, he says. In such scenarios, it is better to not display such gestures as it makes your look unprofessional. In the case of the Markle claw, the problem is much more evident because it limits Harry's movement, adds the expert. When Meghan holds Harry both ways, it does not look like she wants him to go away. It looks needy. That feels like a lot of insecurity on her part, he notes. Meghan and Harry jointly stepped back as senior royals in 2020, a move termed Megxit by Britons. The couple now live in Montecito, California with their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. According to The Express, Jesus said, Meghan and Harry were attending the Well Child Awards back in 2019, and they were talking to some of the families attending. And I think this was the last family they were talking to because they were sitting along a wall, and this was at the far corner, and in fact, it was the end of the video. But Harry was still talking to them, in a quite engaging way, and then Meghan just stands up and literally, and silently commands Harry to stop and stand up just using her body language. And this is not the only time she's been caught in camera interrupting Harry out cold. He continued, there's the Commonwealth Day 2019 video where she does exactly the same, or the red dress video, their visit to the annual Salute to Freedom Gala in New York City, November 10, 2021, where she uses that hand cue to get Harry going, and of course, the direct shut your mouth in Oprah's interview. So, Meghan controlling Harry's behavior, in the most public way possible, is nothing new, but this time, at the Well Child Awards, is interesting because there were previous clues that foreshadowed this. Such as when the nice lady hands them 2 bracelets. Can you spot the reaction in Meghan's face? Yes, there's her classic jaw clenching. And I don't think there was any valid reason for her to express that emotional display at that moment. Mr. Roses said that before receiving the bracelet it was possible to see that Meghan had become impatient as her hands were restless, as she was pinching the flesh right beside her nails. He continued, it doesn't help at this moment, her smile was not the most genuine, her cheeks lacked that pressure into her eyes. Of course, you can't have a full smile all the time, but I've mentioned a couple of times that when our faces are telling the truth, they work like a perfect, balanced system. He added, sadly, the execution is all over the place and it just raises suspicions. When Meghan is going to fix her hair, her hand gesture almost blocks her face completely from view. It's literally in the middle of eye contact in this case, so it's another very subtle signal that she was not comfortable and most probably wanted to be anywhere else. And another common signal that the person doesn't want to be there is a long blink. Meghan does one of those really long blinks right before standing up. Long blinks are really easy to spot and they tell you that either you're becoming boring to the person, blinking, or they are not paying much attention to you, or they want to be anywhere else. Jesus says that Meghan regularly uses a tap with her hand when she wants to go. So Meghan does that signal that she applies so many times to end conversations, that is touching people, he said. Whether it's the Commonwealth Day 2019 video, or the red dress, annual Salute to Freedom Gala video, or the Oprah video where she wanted Harry to stop talking, she used that touch, that is more like a tap. And she does that on the lady, she taps her arm then goes to grab her purse, he remarked. And touching the lady and grabbing her purse means, let's go. That's why Harry immediately breaks that engagement, that conversation dynamic by leaning back. Now, he actually puts his hands on the armrest and moves his body that implies he is about to stand up, and Meghan does exactly the same.